All right, everybody. Hello, and welcome to another edition of Booze and Hacking. I am your host, Dark Hoodie, and we are back with another TryHackMe room. This one is named after famed Jedi Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ben Kenobi. And this one is a walkthrough room. They're going to be asking us some questions. And if I am not mistaken, when I took a peek before at the room, they're even providing some instructions for us to enter into our terminal. So I began the room, as you see here, and first, let's talk about what we're drinking. So this is Svedka vodka, and Svedka makes different flavored vodkas. This one is clementine flavored, and I've never actually had it straight, and I should try that at some point. But what I typically use this for is I get a pineapple. I cut up the pineapple, I slice it up, I put it into a bottle, and then I add the vodka, and I let it sit for about a month or two. And when that's done, I pour the vodka out, and you can shake it over ice like a martini. And man, it is absolutely delicious and absolutely deadly, because any burn that the vodka may have had is completely gone. All you're tasting is that clementine orange flavor coupled with the pineapple. And man, oh man, you can just blow through that in a night, and you might want to hold on to the walls as you're stumbling to the bedroom. Anyway, if you're in the mood for a drink, please by all means get one and join me as we run through this room. So once again, I've begun the room. Here's our IP address, and I took the liberty of answering the first question. It says scan the machine with Nmap. How many ports are open? I used my Nmap script, and as I ran down the list, I came to discover that there are basically 7 ports open. Port 21 is running FTP. In fact, it's running a specific FTP, Pro FTPD. That's something to think about. OpenSSH is running over port 22 as usual. Port 80 is also open, running an Apache web server. We have port 111 that's open, and it's running RPC bind. We'll tuck that away for the time being. And here are ports 139 and 445 running Samba. So I have a feeling we'll be looking at some Samba later on. And the remaining ports mention Mount D, so we'll be looking at some shares. As I run through the Nmap scan a little further, I see a NetBIOS name, which I wasn't expecting. But basically this. Okay, so we've got the ports are open, and let's go on to the next page here. So it gives us a lesson on Samba, which, as you can see, I won't bore you with all the details, but Samba is based on the protocol of Server Message Block, SMB. And we can use Nmap. Using Nmap, we can enumerate a machine for SMB shares. Nmap has the ability to automate a wide variety of networking tasks. There is a script to enumerate shares. So here it's giving us some coding. So let's take a look at this. Let's go ahead, and it's giving us a command to run. SMB has 2 ports, 445 and 139. Here you can see that it's giving you a description of what each port is used for. Let's go ahead and copy this. And I'm going to open another terminal here. We'll keep our scan going. And since what we're doing right now here, Nmap has a series of scripts that you can use as part of their scripting engine, and we are running a command for these two specific scripts. One for shares to see what kind of SMB shares are here, and another for users as well, and we're running it against port 445. Let's see if it will get us our information fairly quickly. Oh, and there it is. Okay, so what are we looking at here? So we see there is one called IPC $. We have one that's called anonymous, one that's called print. Okay, that one has printer drivers. All right. And we can also use SMB client as well. And I am going to go down. It says using this, how many shares have been found? I'm going to say it's 3, right? It looks like 3. Yep, and it's 3. Okay, so now we did see that one of the shares was labeled anonymous. Here it is right here. So here we have the SMB client command. So let's take a look. We're going to use that command. And see what's in that particular share. All right. I just typed in any password according to this. Yep. And once you're connected, list the files on the share. What can you see? Well, there are 2 root directories. There's a file called log.txt. All right, so let's see. Once you're connected, list of files in the share. What is the file you can see? And I believe the answer will be log.txt. Okay, so you can recursively download the SMB share too. Submit the username and password as nothing. So let's see, here's another command we can run to download what's on that share. So let's, you know what, I'm going to open up another terminal here and run this command. I don't think that worked, but that's okay. Maybe I can do it from here. Let's see. Nope. It says open the file on the share. There are a few interesting things found. Information generated for Kenobi when generating an SSH key for the user, and information about the Pro FTP server. Well, let's take a look. Since we know that there is a file called log.txt, let's see if we can cat it. Can't cat it from there. Let me go back here. Is this the file? Log.txt. And let's see if it did give me something. All right. Yep, it did. This is the file right here. And what's it giving us? Enter file in which to save the key. So there's an RSA key here. Created directory home kenobi.ssh. Enter pass. So you're Identification has been saved in home Kenobi. So there's an RSA key here. That's good. It mentions our Pro FTP D server. The port's 21. Don't use IPv6. It's giving us a series of instructions to prevent DOS attacks. Set the max number of child processes to 30. Set the user and group under which the server will run. Both the user and group are called Kenobi. Okay, well, we got a lot of information here, so that's good. First, let's answer the next question. What's the port running on? And it is port 21. So we'll answer that. It says here, your earlier Nmap port scan will have shown port 111 running RPC bind. This is just a server that connects remote procedure call program number into universal addresses. When an RPC service is started, it tells RPC the address at which it is listening, and the RPC program number is prepared to serve. So we're going to enumerate that because we're going to see if there's a mount there. So it's giving us another command. Let's go back to our terminal. See what it's going to give us here. So it's in. So another, and up, here we go. That was quick, which is great. And it says here, the mount is called /var with a wildcard. What mount can we see? We're going to do /var. All right, we're doing good so far. And you know what? Why does it say this is not done? Oh, I didn't hit this. Bam. Okay. Now, let's get to the next page. So here it mentions ProFTPD is a free and open source FTP server compatible with Unix and Windows systems. It's also been known to be vulnerable in the past software versions. So let's get the version of ProFTPD. Use netcat to connect to the machine on the FTP port. Let's look what the hint says. Netcat, the machine's IP at 21. So let's do that. Go back to my terminal. Netcat 10.10.71.55 and port 21. So we are looks like we're looking at version 1.3.5. What is the version? 1.3.5. So some more advice here. We can use searchsploit to find exploits for a particular software version. Searchsploit is basically just a command line to run. I love using searchsploit, by the way. It's a command line search tool for exploit-db.com. How many exploits are there running for the ProFTPD? So let's go back to our terminal. And you know what? I'm going to open up another one. And I'm going to do search exploit ProFTPD 1.3.5. And it seems like it gave us four different exploits here. One in Ruby, two in Python, and a text file. So let's go back here. How many are running? I'm going to say it's 4. You should have found an exploit from ProFTP's mod copy module. I'm going to have a look at that for a second and see what it says. Oh. There we go. Mod copy module. The mod copy module implements site CPFR and site CPTO commands, which can be used to copy files from one place to another on the server without having to transfer the data to the client and back. Okay, so that's where the vulnerability lies. The mod copy module implements, just to any unauthenticated client can leverage these commands to copy files from any part of the file system to a chosen destination. Okay, we know that the FTP service is running as Kenobi, and an SSH key is generated for that user. Okay, we'll hit that too. Okay, so let's go back to, it says here, oh, okay, I did the netcat already. Let me go back to my terminal. I think it is still trying to, I believe that's the same command that I run, netcat IP address import, netcat IP address import, and it says here, I think I'm going to follow these commands. Give it a try, see what it says here. Let's do this. Move my terminal over. CPFR /home/Kenobi /.ssh/ ID_RSA. Alright, that's good. I'm getting the same thing here. So now I'm going to do site. Remember, these are this is the CPFR and CPTO are what's vulnerable here. CPTO /var/tmp/ID_RSA. Okay. So far, so good. The copy was successful, and it allowed me to do that, as is the vulnerability. So we've now moved Kenobi's private key to the var temp directory. We'll mark that as complete. And you know what? I need to add another hour here. So let's do that. I'm going to refresh this page. Let's mount the var temp directory to our machine. So I'm going to copy these instructions as well. Make a directory mnt/Kenobi NFS. All right. Sudo make directory /Kenobi. We're just going to copy it. Kenobi NFS. My password. Okay, now I'm going to mount var. I'm going to mount this to our mount point, Kenobi NFS. Oh boy, what is this? Let's see. Mount point. Did I misspell something? Kenobi NFS does not exist, even though I just created it. Let's be sure, shall we? It should appear right here, but it does not. Where am I right now? In my home directory. do this. It never made my directory. So I'm in the mount directory now. Make dir Kenobi NFS. Oh boy. Kenobi NFS. Okay, so let's go back now and run this command. Alright, I failed to apply fstab options. Well, the instructions say let's mount the var temp directory to our machine. So here I created the directory. Did I forget to, or did they forget rather, to /tmp? Let's try that. Nope. Alright, I'm going to need a minute to figure this out. I will be right back, folks. Well, that didn't take too long. As usual, since I'm not root in my own machine, it's not safe to be that way. I forgot to put the sudo, so it went ahead and mounted the drive. Let's go ahead and follow the instructions now and do mnt/Kenobi NFS and see what we get. Okay. Alright, that looks correct. It says we now have a network mount on our deployed machine. We can go to var temp and get the private key and then log into Kenobi's account. Alright, so let's see. We have our instructions down here. I am going to follow them. I'm going to say sudo this time because that seems to be the way they like it. Kenobi NFS /temp /ID_RSA. Missing destination file operand. Let's see, I did it exactly as it's shown here. Oh, I misspelled temp. Jeez. Okay, let's try that again. No, still the same error. Okay. We now have a network mount. It says copy. What if I just skip the sudo part? See if that will allow me. /tmp /ID. Oh, I think I forgot that dot at the end. ID_RSA. There we go. All right. As usual, it was all me. Now, according to this, I am now going to change permissions on that so that I can use it. And now we're going to SSH into the machine because we know that SSH is open. ID_RSA. The machine is called Kenobi. We know that already. 10.10.71.55. And yes. Okay, so we're in. Excellent. And let's have a look around. And there is a flag here, user.txt. Let's go ahead and cat that. Here is our first flag. I think we're in the home stretch. Let's paste that there. Okay. Now, as per usual, comes the tricky part. Privilege escalation. This is the real deal. So here, it is talking about what SUID is. And basically, these bits allow for a certain type of manipulation. It says here, the SUID bit, the user executes the file with permissions of the file owner. The SGID bit, user executes the file with the permission of the group owner. All right, so that is important. And so let's take a look here. It's telling us SUID bits can be dangerous. Some binaries, such as password, need to be run with elevated privileges as it is resetting your password on the system. However, other custom files could that have the SUID bit can lead to all sorts of issues. So to search the system for these types of files running, this is a command that I actually have in my cheat sheet. Let's go ahead and run this command here. What we want to do is we're looking for the SUID bits here. So here they are. There are some different ones here. Some that we've all seen before. OpenSSH, obviously, SSH key sign, pkexec password, new UID map, gpassword, sudo. It's asking what file looks particularly out of the ordinary, and at this glance, user bin menu seems to be a bit odd. The rest seem to be pretty normal, so I'm going to suggest that it is user bin menu. So I'm going to copy that, and let's see if we're right. Okay. Now it is asking us to run the binary. How many options appear? Okay, so let's give this some thought. So we need to run the binary. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do ls -la, and I'm going to do usr bin menu. Let's take a look and see what's inside that. So now, here is the vulnerability because this is root. So we need to take command of this because then we'll have root privileges, and then we will be able to pwn this machine. So how do we do that? Let's take a look and see what our instructions say. Oh, it's going to let us use strings. Oh, run the binary. How many options appear? Just one. No? Could I possibly be wrong here? Did I not look at this completely? It only has one. Oh, I just did the list. I didn't actually run this. So let's do usr bin menu. And now it's telling us I've run the binary. It's giving us three options: status check, kernel version, or ifconfig. Which one? Well, now at least we have the answer to this. So the answer to this is 3. So now the instructions tell us that strings is a command on Linux that looks for human readable strings on a binary. So, and I think ifconfig is the one that I probably should use. So I'm going to enter number 3. All right. So we're going to do strings. How do we do that? I'm going to do strings against a binary. USR bin menu. Oh, once again, strings plural USR bin menu. Okay. Now that worked. So let's see what is here that we can possibly use. So it says here, it immediately talks about the curl command. Curl I localhost uname R. This shows us the binary is running without a full path. It's not using user bin curl or user bin uname. As this file runs as the root user's privileges, which we saw earlier, we can manipulate our path and gain a root shell. So let's go ahead and give that a shot. And here it is, curl I, human readable. That is the goal here. So now I am going to do echo /bin/sh curl. We're going to use curl for this. Now I'm going to change the permissions. Give curl everything. And according to this, export path equals /tmp colon, because remember it didn't give the full path, so we're going to define it for ourselves. And now I'm going to run user bin menu. This is the binary to run. Okay. So now it's saying this time we're going to check, to do a status check. Let's see, because it looks like doing a status check will tell us what we are. Let's do ID. And let's see here. Where is root? Because we are not showing as root yet from what I can tell. I'm still not seeing the root sign yet. It says here we copied the bin sh shell, called it curl, gave it the correct permissions to put its location in our path. That means that when the binary was run, it's using our path variable to find the curl binary, which is actually a version of USR sh, as well as this being, well, I'm not root though, so let's see if I can get to the, no, you see I'm not root yet. And that is confusing. So let's try this again. Start that over, shall we? Make sure I did this right. Echo bin sh to curl. Echo bin/sh to curl. Let's change the permission. 777 curl. export path equals slash TMP colon, oh, I think I forgot the $, didn't I? Well, let's find out. Bin menu. So it says status check is the choice to make. But I'm still not getting root. All right, I need a minute to think about this. Okay, so we're back and figured out what the problem was. Just like in a lot of things, I just had to restart the VM. And so I will show you the remainder of how to get root to this machine. But first, I wanted to draw your attention to this page because this is what explains what exactly the vulnerability is. So again, we were talking about the Pro FTPD FTP site and the module mod copy. Now, according to the page we're looking at right here, these two module implementations, site CPFR and site CPTO, are the components that allow you to copy files from one place to another on a server without having to transfer the data to the client and back. This is where an unpatched vulnerability will allow you, and I'll show you now in the terminal. We're going back to what I did here. We'll see here that you saw earlier when I showed you that we found a binary, specifically the menu binary, that was an unusual thing that should not have been there. And that menu binary allowed us to basically take that binary, and since it did not have a full path on it, we could take that binary and add whatever we want to it. In this case, we could essentially put bin sh into our own version of curl. We were creating a file called curl and putting bin sh into it. And as you see here, after doing so, and I took a few extra steps, I catted the curl file. You see the bin sh here, changed all the permissions to the curl file so that it had universal permissions for everything. And as you see here, all the permissions are applied. I made sure that I was still in the home/Kenobi folder. And then took the file, added it to $path so that it would overwrite and use the root credentials that were now in the curl file and apply it to whatever we wanted. So as you see here, I did run the binary. So here we have usr/bin/menu. And you see here's the choice. It says status check, kernel vision, and ifconfig. Now, if you look to the left, you'll see our favorite familiar $, which basically tells us that we're root, but let's make sure. So I'm going to type ID here. And yes, we are root. So I'm going to ls now and see what's in here, but I don't have the root folder yet, so I'm going to cd into that folder, see if it's there. Nope. Okay. So I am just going to go out on a limb and cat root.txt to see if it shows up. I don't see it here. Maybe it's in curl. Let's find out. Okay, there is log.txt. Let's go back to our TryHackMe page. So according to this, it should be root text. So let's go back to the terminal now. Let's see if we can cat it. And there it is. There's our last flag. So let's just copy that over, and we will add it to the room. And we are done. So nice to have TryHackMe provide some of the commands for us. This was a fun room to do. And if you enjoyed today's video, I would encourage you to please like and subscribe. And hope you'll all join me in the next video. Nice to have something related to Star Wars, obviously. So may the Force be with you, and hack the planet.